Alright, so in the last video I said I was happy with the way that answers didn't get saved if you made an answer and then went back. But I changed my mind about that. I think I do want to store the answers so that you can go back and look at them. But I think, well, at least I want to be able to store those answers so that you can figure out what your score is, right? So I actually did start with this collection called responses, but I never really did anything with it. So I think that's what I'm going to do this time, is figure out how to save responses. And when I down here in action performed, I get the button ID, which is the response, and I'm saving a response for each question, basically, right? So there's going to be, for each question, you're going to give one answer. So responses is an int that's the size 2, because it's the size of questions, right? All right, so let's go down here and yeah, look in action performed. So responses. So your response is going to be whatever the button ID is, and that's going to, and depending on which question, right? So we could just say responses question. Question is the integer that tells us what question we're on, equals button ID. Okay. Now it seems like what I'd like to do when I go to a page is, if that response has already been made, then I want to show all this stuff. So really, it looks like what I should do is probably have all this be a separate call. So what I'm thinking is I could pull out all of this, and then when it's time to oh yeah, I wouldn't need the C. I really kind of just need this stuff, right? I don't need this beginning part. So I kind of want to just make another method here. And then if I can pull all this out, then I can make it happen when I pick the action performed, but then also when I switch questions, when I do a next question or a previous question. So let's see. I guess what I want to do is start out at the beginning and give each of the responses a value that tells me that no responses have been made yet. So I'm going to start out with int equals 0 and I equals 0. I less than responses.length I++, and I'm going to just set all the responses to the absolutely smallest value that any integer can be on your computer, which is that min value. Okay? So if the response is less than 0, then I know that no response has been made, or if it equals that min value. Okay. So in other words, once a button's been clicked, that's going to change that response, right? So let's see now. You know, it says return right here. So I know that if this was true, then I'm going to return right away. So really, it looks like I don't need, I'm just trying to simplify this method. I don't need that part. All the way up, because I know that I've returned if the unknown button was, if the button was wrong. Now what I do need though is the answer button, right? Because I use C here. So I'm going to try pulling this down here. And let's see, maybe call this the player answer button, and just automatically pull it. And then just do this. So I think so far I'm doing, oops, cannot find symbol variable wrong answer button. So where did oh yeah. Well really, I just need to do this, don't I? Oh, maybe not. Because I have to highlight it if it's wrong, right? So let's say button, wrong answer button. So I'll start that at null, like that. There we go. Okay. So now that looks like that's okay. So let's compile it and make sure I didn't break anything. So really I didn't change anything this time. I'm just doing a little bit of rewriting to make sure that, or to make it easier for me to make changes here. So that looks okay. So now I should be able to pull this stuff out. So basically, so what is all this stuff doing? This stuff is writing the computer's response to whatever the player has input, right? So let's see. Button ID, button. Yeah. So we're going to need to find out which button the player clicked. All right. So all right, so let me pull this stuff out first. So this is going to be let's say build what is it? I'll just say build response, because we're building the response that the computer's making to whatever the user put in here. So let's see, and I'm going to pass the player's answer in. And I think I can just move all this. Say build response. And again, the reason I'm trying to do this is what I'd like to do is, if I can, is in next question here, somehow put in build response, or previous question, put in build response. So when I flip back to a page where I've already put in an answer, that I get this whole response. You know, if the answer was wrong, it draws red and all that business. So let's see if this compiles first. Oh yeah, that doesn't need to be there, does it? Okay. The button ID. Oh, okay. The button ID I can get from the player button. Okay, so it looked like that compiled, and again I'm going to test it to make sure that it's still working. Okay, the correct answer is ketone. I go to this one. That's correct, okay. But we're still not preserving anything when we come back. So we still haven't changed any functionality so far. We've just moved some stuff around. And like I said, the reason I did that is because I want to be able to put this build response, this call to build response in here in next question. So in the next video, we'll see if we can make that happen.